Yo, what's going on guys? Z Karma here and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video. Today I bring you guys another dedicated drop raids video. The goal of these videos is to give you an idea of what to expect when farming certain bosses. What we do is farm a boss 100 times on Mayhem 3 and 100 times on Mayhem 4. Then we collect different variables of data to compare both Mayhem levels. So today we're going to be farming General Trant. His dedicated loot pool contains the recursion and the cosmic crater artifact. And he also drops a Mayhem 4 exclusive, the execute. So the different data that we are going to be collected include the number of world drops, how many of those were anointed, and how many of those were class mods. We also collect the number of dedicated drops, and the specifics of which dedicated drops we actually got, as well as how many of them were anointed. And finally, for Mayhem 4, we are going to be looking at the number of Mayhem 4 exclusives. After we get all this, we will look at the results side by side and compare both Mayhem levels. I will also go into a little more specific detail about each section. And at the end, I will give you suggestions to better decide what Mayhem level you should farm him on. So, before we get into the results, if you guys find this video informative in any way, please consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing for more content. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, after 100 kills of General Traunt on Mayhem 3, we had 103 world drops, 19 of them were anointed, and 16 were class mods. And we got 14 dedicated drops, 7 recursions, and 7 cosmic craters. And for Mayhem 4, after 100 kills, we had 163 world drops, 22 were anointed, and 32 of them were class mods. We had 4 dedicated drops, 3 recursions, 1 cosmic crater. And finally, for the Mayhem 4 exclusive, we had 5 execute pistols, and 2 of them were anointed. So let's talk about world drops first. After 100 kills, Mayhem 4 dropped 60 more world drops than Mayhem 3. So just so you know, the anointed to world drop ratio is the same on any Mayhem level. You only have a higher chance on Mayhem 4 because there are more world drops, so with that ratio, obviously you get more anointed. Anyways, the anointed world drop ratio on Mayhem 3 was 0.18. which is actually higher than the average of 0.16 that I've seen from other bosses. And for Mayhem 4, the ratio was 0.13, which is actually lower than the average of 0.16. So in terms of world drops, I would not recommend you farm General Traunt because he is far behind bosses like Grave Ward or Agonizer 9000. Now let's skip dedicated drops real quick and talk about the Mayhem 4 exclusive drop. So for the execute pistol, we had a 5% drop chance, which is quite normal for the Mayhem 4 exclusives. And as for this farm, I would tell you to stay away from this weapon. It's not good. Unless you want to collect it, then go for it. But other than that, I wouldn't recommend you farm for this weapon. Okay, now finally, let's talk about dedicated drops. And we need to combine these stats because dedicated drops are the same across both Mayhem levels. Even though with my results you see a low drop rate of these on Mayhem 4, we need to keep in mind that the general drop rate for dedicated drops is very low. And within 100 kills, there can be fluctuations like you see here. So when combining them, after 200 kills we had 18 dedicated drops. This is a 9% drop chance, which is actually really close to the usual 10 to 12%. So in terms of dedicated drops, this is just what we should expect. Farming dedicated drops is not in a good state right now, everybody knows this, but I will tell you this. I would definitely recommend you farm General Traunt on any Mayhem level if you want to get your hands on a nice recursion. And if you can kill him really fast on Mayhem 4, then I would say just go for it. Because while you are looking for that recursion, you will also get some really nice world drops to go with it. And let me just point out one thing. The only reason that I recommend you farm for this is because this is an extremely fast farm and he only has 2 dedicated drops in the loot pool. Other bosses have 3 or more, so the chance of getting what you'd want is minimized to a ridiculous 3% or lower. So for General Trant, farming dedicated drops is not as bad as other bosses. I know that in previous bosses I did not combine dedicated drops from both Mayhem levels, but that was because I still wasn't sure if dedicated drop chance was the same on any difficulty. But after a lot of testing that you've seen on other bosses on my previous videos, that seems to be the case, so from now on we will be combining them just like we did today. So anyways guys, that's gonna do it for me. If you found this video informative or helpful in any way, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Borderlands 3 content. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.